Well, the company's been on a tear, if I can use that term, because the quarter three has been fairly strong for GHCL. While the sales have been off, margin picture has improved, PAT has improved, the buyback plan approved up to 315 rupees a share. Mr. R.S. Jalan, the MD of GHCL, joins us right now on the show. So Jalan, good having you. Thanks for joining in. Let's first talk about the news. We'll also talk about the quarter. But while I'm happy with the buyback price, it's up to a max price of 315, but the size is just 2.5%. I mean, why this size of the buyback that you've undertaken, and will promoters participate? Can you give us some details here about the buyback?
Yeah, if you look at as per the policy of the SEBI, only up to the 10% of the net worth you can have a buyback to be approved by the board. And we have taken that 10%, and that figure comes to around this number. So based on this number, we have taken an approval of the board to go ahead with this. And obviously in this policy, the promoter cannot participate. So the promoter is not going to be participating in this.
Okay. Fair call. So that's about the buyback, of course, at a max price of 315. Let's talk about your numbers as well. I was looking at your numbers. Your revenue growth has been hampered a bit this time around. What's happened there? Because you set such high standards of expectations that people get disappointed very easily if it's a slightly iffy quarter. Why has this happened this time?
But if you look at this quarter, because of this demonetization, some impact has been felt in our business also. If you look at our soda ash business, where some of the unorganized sectors has badly hit because of the demonetization, and that has reduced our sales. However, I just want to mention that our production has been good. In spite of our shutdown, we have been able to achieve the same production which we have achieved last year. But the inventory has gone up, which we are going to definitely now in January, March, we'll be able to take care of that inventory. So you will see the better number in January, March number. This inventory will be sold.
Right. Afternoon, Mr. Jalan. Taking a look at the segmental mix, the inorganic chemicals, which accounts for about 60% of your overall revenue, that's been flat. Can you tell us what this has been led by and what the outlook is now for this segment?
See, chemical business, as we have mentioned before also, that we are taking an expansion on the chemical business, and the revenue growth will be coming for the next year. We have taken 100,000 ton of expansion, and that volume, the benefit of that will come to the next year, 17-18. So you will see that the segment of chemical business, the revenue growth will be next year. In textile business, if you look at this year, we have on a 9 months period, we have grown by 10%, and we believe that another 10 to 15% growth will be there next year as well. So next year you will see that growth in both the businesses.
Okay, I have one final question from my end. For your home textiles business, I think your US is the key focus market, but your 9-month numbers, if I'm not wrong, are trailing the internal growth estimates. Okay, these are live visuals. I think it is FM Arun Jaitley, if I'm not wrong, FY18, probably in line of what's really happened over the last 3 or 4 months are indicating what a lot of people suspected, a slightly lower range than what otherwise could have been. Anyways, just before we get in the next guest, I think Mr. Jalan is still with us. Mr. Jalan, that one key thing, your 9-month numbers for home textiles have trailed the internal growth estimates. Will this change? And because one would have thought that with the impact on companies like Welspun and maybe others, other players would benefit. Why has this been the case?
No, if you look at our numbers in the 9 months period, you will find that in our textile business, we have grown by around 10 to 15%. And that to 10 to 15% was the guidance which we have given in the beginning of the year. And next year, we are expanding our home textile capacity. And that will definitely improve our volume next year again by 10 to 15%. So we are on our estimations or the guidance which we have given in the beginning of the year. We have given that, and we are achieving that number.
Okay, Mr. Jalan, we wish you all the best for that, and I'm sure Q4, as you said, the sales numbers will look a lot more impressive, inventory and otherwise. But thanks so much for taking the time out and being with us today and giving us your thoughts. That's the management of GHCL.
Thank you.
The stock has been on a tear because the performance has been very, very good for the company as well. Well, the performance has been very, very good for Motilal Oswal, but that's not the reason why we have Ashish Somaiya, MD and CEO of Motilal Oswal AMC. The real reason is it's the budget tomorrow.